Hello, friends. It feels like it's been a while since I posted a reading vlog, which it has. I have not really been book shopping or anything like that in a while. Mostly, first off, when I'm filming this, it's October. It's the beginning of October, and pretty much for like the whole month of September, I don't think I read that much. It's been a while since I've like done a reading vlog and all that, mostly due to the fact that it's just my life has been very busy, and also the fact that I've been having really bad anxiety days. A little bit of context around that is that I am a recent grad from college, and I had just started my job search a couple weeks ago, and so the job search has been really tough and all that, mostly just because of the fact that the job market is just so bad right now. I've pretty much just been trying to apply for jobs, doing some freelancing and all of that because of sort of that uncertainty. And this is sort of like the first year and the first like fall where I haven't had any structure or anything like that. It's like I'm not attending classes, I don't have a job or anything like that. Like this is sort of like the first time where I'm like actually like making my own schedules, making my own plan, figuring out what I'm going to do day by day. It's just the anxiety around that has caught up to me, which I'm someone who doesn't really like get anxiety around having no structure. I feel like I've always been like a very independent person, and I've always been a self-starter. It's just been bad for the past couple weeks. It's a nice day in the fall. It's starting to finally feel like fall and all that, and I finally had a reason to get out my plaid skirt and all of that, and it's a nice day. It's a Monday morning, and I just came to the bookstore to grab some books that have been released within the past couple weeks and all of that. I think today is probably just going to be a book shopping vlog, maybe some reading, and then we'll sort of see where the week takes us, because I genuinely have no idea what I'm doing with my life. I don't know why so many people are sitting in their cars right here. Like, I'm the YouTuber here. I don't know what everyone else is doing, so I'll try to keep this quick. But book shopping was a success. I bought 3 books. The first book I got is Nothing Like the Movies by Lynn Painter. I pretty much read all of Lynn Painter's books, and so decided to get Nothing Like the Movies. And I read Better Than the Movies last year, I believe. I just never really had the inclination to reread it, so I don't really remember what happens in that book, but whatever. I got the sequel. This one is dual point of view of both Wes and Liz, and it takes place after what happened in the first book. And so I read the first couple chapters just like on my phone. I really liked it, and so I decided to just get a physical copy of it. So yeah, I got Nothing Like the Movies. And then the next book I got was The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year by Ali Carter. One thing about me, if you've been watching my videos, I love Ali Carter. I love her books. She's like one of the authors that raised me as a kid, and so every single time she releases something, I have to buy her book. And so I actually read this on my phone, and I had such a fun time with it. This is one of my 5-star reads of the year, which is saying a lot. I didn't have that many 5-star reads, but overall, just like for vibes and all of that, it was a really fun book. Even though it's like a Christmas book, this would definitely be fun to read like during Christmas, but it came out now. If you like the banter between like enemies to lovers, it gives very much like Knives Out, Inheritance Games, Jennifer Lynn Barnes-esque type of feel. Like if you like that type of vibe, I think you would really like this book. It's definitely more rom-com-y than mystery. And then finally the last book I got was A Song to Drown Rivers by Anne Leung. If you've watched my other videos, I did a video called an Asian American girly reads Asian American girly books for a week, and pretty much like 3 of those books were In Liang books. They were all the books that In Liang had published, and then this is her first like fantasy novel that she's published, but I've heard good things about it already. And look at the sprayed edges. Like, look at these sprayed edges and like everything about this book. It's like originally I was gonna hold off on buying it, and then I saw the sprayed edges and I was like, I have to buy it. I have to support my girl Anne Leong. I love her books. And so yeah, those are the 3 books I got. And now I'm gonna go because I'm feeling self-conscious. Hello, so I am back at home, and I thought I would just give you a quick little update as to the books I'm currently reading, not the books I just bought, which I'm probably gonna read. But the first book I decided to read this month was a novel love story by Ashley Poston. Still don't know how to pronounce her name. This has been on my TBR for such a long time, and I was going to read it during the summer, but it just, for me, when it comes to just anything sort of fantasy related or like magical realism related, I don't know. I push those a lot to the fall just because it just gave more fallish vibes. Overall, I'm really enjoying this right now. And I feel like, I don't know, with a lot of books, when it comes to like their releases, like I feel like a lot of books are released months earlier. So then, marketing happens, like word of mouth gets around. And then by the time it comes to the month that these books should actually be read, they're being read by me. But that's just like my personal preference. But yeah, overall, I got about 30% of the way through this book, and I'm really enjoying it. Again, not much has happened in this book. It's pretty much about this girl who drives into this town only to realize that it's a town from one of her favorite book series. And so she's trying to figure out kind of what's happening, where she is, and she's like kind of just like going along, you know, for the ride with the plot. She's like, well, like I can't leave, so let's see where this, town takes me, kind of thing. So like that's the vibe of it. It's more, I would say, character driven than plot driven. Not much is happening in the plot and all of that. So yeah, that's what I'm currently reading so far. And then I don't know what else I'm gonna read. This vlog is gonna be all over the place because I don't really know what this reading vlog is. I was reading Beach Read by Emily Henry, but I feel like because summer has like fully passed now, I just can't get into Beach Read. I got maybe less than half. I think I got around like 40% of the way through. And I think with Emily Henry books as well is that I need to space them out between a lot of books. I know a lot of people have said that Emily Henry has a formula, and but Beach Read is the last book of Emily Henry's that I need to read. And getting to Beach Read, I see the formula. And it might be because I had just finished reading People We Meet on Vacation and Book Lovers. And so, and I feel like Book Lovers and Beach Read are really similar books. And so, like, they're very different. They have very different characters, but they're at the same time, they're very similar to each other. I just don't have the mental capacity right now. And also, like, reading Beach Read was also giving me anxiety just based off of like the topics that they discuss. That's also another reason why I haven't read Beach Read fully yet. Also, I saw the special edition at the bookstore. And one thing about me is I'm a sucker for special editions. Like, I don't even care if I've read the book or not. If it's a nice book, I'm going to buy the special edition. So it took my whole willpower not to buy the special edition of Beach Read, mostly because that's the one Emily Henry novel I have not read. I think today is going to be more of a laid back day, finding inspiration through the things I'm reading and all of that. And that's also where I get my best design ideas, is when I'm not designing and I'm not thinking about design. I'm really just like letting my brain relax and just like take me wherever it wants to take me. So yeah, I'm gonna continue reading a novel love story, and I'll probably finish it today, and we'll see where that takes me. Hello. So I am back, and I feel like this video is less of a reading vlog and more of just like a me talking to the camera vlog or video, which I don't think I do enough on this channel. I feel like actually no. A lot of the times I'm very much down to business. I'm very much down to this is the book I'm reading, here's my review on it, and I feel like I never really just like open up and be sort of vulnerable on like what's happening in my life and all that. I'm a very private person. And so yeah, for the past like few weeks, I've just had really bad anxiety days. I genuinely you know, just didn't have the energy to read or anything like that. I've been really sort of just overwhelmed being like a postgraduate student and all of that, trying to apply for entry level jobs. I've been so focused on that. I've been straying away from this channel a bit. And for me, reading has always been just like my way of escaping and just doing something with my time that I genuinely enjoy, and it's a hobby of mine. I just wanted to sort of share the books that I've read this week, even though I didn't really vlog it, because who wants to vlog when you're having bad days in general. The first book that I read was a novel love story by Ashley Poston, and I gave this a 4 stars, 4.25 stars, I believe. And overall, I really enjoyed this book. This is my first Ashley Poston book, and so I know a lot of people have mixed reviews on this book, mostly due to the fact that it's just not that much happens in this book. And I feel like a lot of people compare it to her other books. I haven't read her other books, so I can't compare it to anything. But overall, I personally really enjoyed it. I think for me, yeah, the plot didn't stick out that much because the plot is very straightforward. But what I really liked in this is just the writing itself, like the quotes and all that. There are so many quotes that I just like connected to, and I felt like really just encapsulated the way I see reading and literature and connecting with characters and connecting with stories. And that's what I really liked about this book. There were so many moments in this book that made me like almost cry, even though this book isn't even sad at all. Like it was so like, it just connected with me emotionally that the emotion got a bit overwhelming, if that makes sense. The next book I read was Nothing Like the Movies by Lynn Painter. This is a sequel to Better Than the Movies. And personally, for me, I gave this 4 stars. Again, I liked this book. I like reading Lynn Painter's YA books. I think she does a really good job at, just talking about difficult topics. And I feel like the way she writes her characters is just like very young still. It's like, even though these two are supposed to be like in college now, it just feels like they're still so young. And maybe it's just me because maybe that's just me because I'm older. I'm like in my almost my mid 20s now, and it's like my frontal lobe is like has finally kind of developed. Some of the things and decisions that they make in this book, I was kind of like, that is a very questionable thing. I don't understand their motivation sometimes. And it's also like, I don't necessarily think that these characters would be together in the future. Like after they graduate college, I think they would break up again. They're still like, they still have a lot of the world to face and all of that. So, but overall, it's a cute YA romance. I know this one has been getting a lot of mixed reviews as well. I feel like if you're like a true, like a Better Than the Movies, like a super fan, I feel like you wouldn't enjoy this book. For me, it's like I liked Better Than the Movies. I'm like, it's not my favorite YA novel. Like there are so many other YA novels that I still prefer. But, it's like I didn't mind Liz and Wes together. And so reading this book, I was like, yeah, I can see it. Like, again, like I'm not the biggest fan of them. Like, I think my favorite Lynn Painter book might be The Do-Over, actually, just because I love like a Groundhog Day moment. That's my thoughts on Nothing Like the Movies. I think it was just a fun little romance to read, and it's like very, I wouldn't say mindless, but it's just like really easy to get into these books and read them. I did think that this book was like 100 pages a bit too long. One thing about Lynn Painter is she loves writing long chapters, and I am not a long chapter kind of girly. It's a young adult book that has some insanely long chapters, I would say. Honorable mentions for the next one. Again, an honorable mention is The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year. Personally, for me, again, like I've said in my previous videos, Ali Carter is a author that I genuinely am obsessed with. It's a quick book to get into. It's kind of mindless when you read it, but I just love the banter. I love the mystery of it. And I think Ali Carter's just really good at writing, books that are kind of cheesy, but she does it in like such an endearing way that it's like I can't help but read these books. But yeah, this is like her Christmas book and all of that that's been released in October, or September. So you bet I will be reading this again during Christmas time. But I feel like if you loved reading the Gallagher Girl series, like the books that Ali Carter has been pumping out now, like in her adult she's in her adult era now. She's writing adult books rather than young adult now. And so, like, I feel like if you grew up reading Ali Carter books as a kid, you would love the stuff that she's writing now because, like, I just finished reading this and I already want to reread this book. And then final kind of like honorable mention I have for what I'm reading this week is The Paradise Problem, like by Christina Lauren. I literally just read this book maybe two months ago and I'm already rereading it. I saw that the audiobook was available on Libby, so I had to read it. It's like one of like the 7-day loan things on Libby. So I was like, that's fine because I devour this book already. And I feel like The Paradise Problem, again, one of my five-star reads. It's one of those books I can just read over and over and over again. And it's been so long since I found books like that it's like I'm so obsessed with them that I just want to continuously read them. It's like, do they have flaws? Oh, absolutely, but I will turn a blind eye and just move on forward because I love the book so much. And yeah, so that is The Paradise Problem. I'm currently listening to that on audiobook. I don't mind the narrators for it, but it's just sometimes when you read the audiobooks, like the narrators, it's sort of like I would not guess the characters sound like that. And like for me, that's the male narrator. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm so like I've listened to so many like Zachary Weber audiobooks that now when any other man like does an audiobook, I'm taken aback. I'm just like, why? Like, I'm like, who is this man? Like, where's Zachary Weber? I'm like, he's obviously not doing the audiobook for this book. But yeah, hopefully I am back with more reading, vlogs, and all of that. I know I had a ton of things planned, but the world was not ready for it yet. So hopefully I'll get back to the grind of doing more of these videos and all of that. And yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one, hopefully.